All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more complexity casting action. I'm your casting host, Beef, bringing you Game 3 in this best-of-3 series, HoN Tour, Cycle Number 2, Bronze Grand Finals. We have QLM Quadlane Mid taking on Seraphic Nexus, SNX. SNX looked amazing in the first game, utilizing a offensive sand wraith strategy, huge amounts of kill involvement, huge amounts of carry, and an extremely epic game. QLM said, screw that, we're fighting back, and fight back they did, as they were able to bring it in the last game. They brought it, they finished out the game at less than half an hour in with awesome play all around. A strong suicide there from Plague Rider, and of course a very strong Pebbles and a great Hag. So we're going to get into Game 3 right now, guys. Let's do it. Blind Band's going out way up here. Parasite and Ophelia. Plague Rider and Keeper of the Forest. So, Plague Rider being banned out by the Hellborn. That, of course, is SNX. And, well... sorry, I just read some of the chat, and I get really distracted when I read things. Plague Rider being banned out by the Hellborn. They do not want to have to go up against that Suicide Plague again, being played by Angie Verona. Very well played in the last game, but not this time. And of course, things like Ophelia, the Keeper of the Forest, and the Parasite, pretty dang standard bans here. Let's get into the lockpicking phase. First lock up is in fact Bubbles, Tempest, Warbeast, Pharaoh, Pebbles, and Artillery. So a couple of junglers by way of Tempest and Warbeast. Some strong pushers there. Great initiators with the Bubbles, the Pharaoh, the Pebbles, and Artillery. Just kind of a what the heck lock. One of those ones there where people put it in there just so you can't really pick it and makes it a little bit harder for you. But not going to be making it in most likely. Banning phase. Fade comes out. Tundra, Wild Soul, and Fade. Fade, Tundra, and Wild Soul being banned here by QLM, so they do not want to have to deal with those ones. Pretty standard bans. I think that's what they've been banning the entire time. On the other side of things, more reactive bans. SNX bans the Jerizai. Do not want to deal with that. Wretched, Hag, and Engineer both looked good for QLM last time, so banning out a couple of those, but some heroes do make it by. Some heroes like some hard carries. Silhouette is there. The Dragon is available. Moon Queen is available. We'll see if any of those do get picked up. I just heard one right there. But first pick coming out, it is in fact Meraxis. Was banned in the last game. Had a pretty big impact in the first game. I'm going to see it again here. We'll see if maybe they do pick that one up and put him into the mid lane. Get some nice farm going. We shall see. Second and third picks here for Seraphic Nexus. We have Magmus and Aluna. So with those two in the lineup, you've got a great dual stun mid lane. And of course, a lot of ganking potential, that's for sure. Pick that Devo. Pick that Devo. Do it! Obey me. No. Pick it. Pick it! No, they're not going to just yet. Picks 4 and 5 coming out for Quadlane Mid. They go with Silhouette and Glacius, so able to get a strong babysitter if they do want to run the short lane solo. And of course the Silhouette able to do the hard carry thing. One of the stronger hard carries. Great farmer, great team fighter in the mid game if she picks up something like that portal key. And of course great in the late game if she's able to get that farm. But you know who else is great at getting farm? Draconis, the third and last standard pick coming out of SNX. He's going to be able to get huge amounts of farm. We've already seen him a couple times today. Gets very big. Picks up an early Nullstone. Able to bring down those triple stacked jungle and ancient stacks very early on and extremely efficiently. So we'll see if Seishi is going to be playing that one. Going for the hard farm once again. Warbeast first out of the lockpicking phase. Going to be able to get his farm on in the jungle. Be able to push down some towers. Take down a Kongor. And of course carry into that late game if he chooses to build that way. So we'll see the Warbeast. Locks number 2 and 3 coming out are going to be Tempest and Pharaoh. So getting some strong initiation there to complement the Magmus is SNX as they go with a pretty dang offensive lineup there. If you take a look at the entirety of it, really the Tempest, the Magmus, the Pharaoh screams offensive potential, aggressive potential. Aluna there with the hard support as well. And on the other side of things, finish it out with a bubble. So they're going with a strong suicide. These look like some very standard teams. Not going to be seeing 7 jungle bans like we saw in the first game. Not going to be seeing super, super aggressive by way of that. But both teams going with the jungle. Both teams going with the suicide. Both teams most likely going with their strong hard carry in the short lane. And, of course, getting that strong dual lane mid with the double stuns. That is most likely what's going to be happening here. So we'll see. Vote to pause comes in. BRB dishes again. I will flip my table. I will actually flip my table, guys. But no. Hopefully that it won't be too long here. But we are going to be... Is he... He can't actually be going to do dishes again, right? Like, he can't actually be going to do dishes again. Maybe he is. Maybe he is going to go get dishes again. I really hope not. I read a thread on the forums today that people complaining about remakes and pauses, and yeah, not too fun sometimes, especially when you're by yourself. Try to entertain you guys. I mean, I'm a naturally entertaining and handsome person, but it still can be rather difficult. You guys are hard to please sometimes, but I'll do my best. We are going to be going into this game once they do get unpaused. Let's go over the teams. SNX Wally, the captain here of Seraphic Nexus. He's going to be playing on the Tempest. Liv Wells doing his thing on Magnus once more. He was playing that hero in the first game. Did a great job. Gimli doing his thing on Luna. Seishi, he's going to be playing the hard carry here in Draconis. And Skills going to be stepping off of the bubbles for the first time. Instead, going to be going in on the Pharaoh. So doing his suicide thing in the long lane for sure. On the other side of things, we do have Angie Verona. He's going to be playing the suicide bubbles this time. We have QLM doing his support thing, not on Engineer this time, but instead on the Glacius. Deathbringer. He played Moon Queen the first time, and he's played the junglers each time since. Legionnaire got great farm in the last game, and now Warbeast. We'll see how he's going to be able to do with that. Another hero that does kind of rely on good creep spawns. Don't want to be running into too many of those Catman champions. Don't want to be running into too many of those Minotaurs either. Wow. Okay. So I've got to clear that. That's pretty bad-mannered. Pretty bad-mannered. So we'll see. And the bottom lane, we're going to be having Fire Sage actually make his way out on Meraxis. Kind of interesting there. I mean, where's the hard carry? Where's Silhouette? Oh, she's right there. She blended in with the stupid hut. Look at her. She's the White Lotus Ninja. That's what the name of this avatar is. Okay, guys? White Lotus Ninja. And there's a bunch of snow on the ground. She blends in. She's yellow. She blends in with the hut. Frustrating, man. Frustrating. So once these teams do get back in, they're going to be going off and doing their things. Suicide Bubbles against short lane Draconis. Bubbles should have a pretty bad time up there. He's going to be able to get a little bit of farm, but really he's not going to be able to get a whole lot up there. Draconis should be able to start pushing him back, especially once he starts leveling up that Blazing Flight, getting that to level 3 or so at level 5. Able to just really, really quickly close the distance between him and Bubbles, forcing Shell Surfs to be coming out constantly. And in the bottom lane, it should be Silhouette going up against a long lane Pharaoh. And Pharaoh will have a long, hard time in that lane. Silhouette going up against any melee spells disaster most of the time for the melee. Of course, if Pharaoh is able to pick up a hatchet and buckler, then he will be in a little bit better of a position down there. Maybe able to get some CS. Of course, he does have great base damage and a good attack animation. So he might be able to get some CS, but as soon as Silhouette starts putting in a few levels, gets to level 4 or 5 herself, there's going to be a ton of potential coming out, aggressive damage potential coming out from Silhouette. Let's talk about the junglers a little bit. Tempest going to be going up against Warbeast. Tempest probably the better jungler in terms of ganking and in terms of actually just raw GPM in the jungle, going to be hovering around 300 to 350 gold per minute, as opposed to a 250 or so for an optimal farm. Warbeast in that jungle, but once Warbeast does get pretty farmed up, he's going to be able to just absolutely tear through heroes, towers, Kongors, racks, whatever you put in front of him. He's just going to be able to do a ton of damage. So we'll see if Tempest is able to take that early lead and extend that into the mid game, picking up a nice early portal key, bringing on those elemental voids that are so important during the team fights, and of course knocking down those towers nice and early. Wally on that Tempest will be up here in the top jungle, and if he's able to set up some nice ganks here, making his way over on this area, so let's use the K. If he's able to get over here and then just set up a gank, gets a Glacial Blast going, or maybe comes in this location right here, comes over here, and then is able to get somebody in this location right there. I'm losing my mind, guys. I'm losing my mind. I'm trying to be John Madden. Oh, I don't think I can do it, though. Not just yet. But they're taking a very, very long time in this pause. Of course, Tempest will be able to get much more effective ganks set up than Warbeast. Once Warbeast hits level 6 and he's going to come over here and try to set up a gank onto the Pharaoh, then, well, Pharaoh's going to be able to put up the wall of mummies, and Warbeast should just be kind of pushed back and not really able to set up too much of anything. But we'll see if a good tree grapple stun goes off, and if Pharaoh's not leveling up that wall of mummies past level 1, then Warbeast might be able to set something up indeed. Middle lane, we're going to be having the Miraxus come in. He's going to be coming in right here and trying to get the CS in this location. On the other side of things, we're going to have the Magnus here contending in this location right here. Supports are going to be hanging out in this right there. Going to be having the Glacius on the other side. So it's going to be Glacius Miraxus going to be taking on a Luna Magnus. So the Luna Magnus lane has a little bit more reach than the Glacius Miraxus lane, and the Glacius Miraxus does have a bit more defensive potential, that's for sure. But Magnus, Aluna, they have a little bit more reach. They have a little bit more harassment potential, I would think. But if Miraxus is ever able to land a Quake there in that middle lane, well, Aluna could very well be falling. And if Magnus gets out of position, maybe goes in for that Lava Surge, puts himself in the thick of things, he could certainly be in some trouble. We finally get back into this game, guys. We finally did it. I'm happy to be here. Very, very happy indeed to be in game number 3 of this bronze finals. See who's going to be able to take home the U.S. champion title for bronze once more. Who's going to succeed? Succeed? Yeah, successor. Who's going to be the successor of Dober on Damp, who we cast earlier today? DOND taking on Isopalette in the silver finals. I think that Isopalette won that. Like 99% sure that Isopalette won that. But it's been a long day. Like I said, guys, it's been a real long day. A lot of best of 3 series, and I think all of them went to 3 games. And here we are. Game number 3 of Seraphic Nexus taking on Quadlane Mid. Ho, 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 as Uncle Santa Claus does ring the bells and says, let's get it on indeed. Lanes that I called out were incorrect, as Bubbles is actually going to do his Suicide Mid thing. The dual lane is going to be long lane Silhouette with Glacius, and it's going to be a short lane Miraxus. So here's the reason that they did this. Bubbles needs levels. Needs farm too, but getting levels is what you primarily care about nice and early. Miraxus versus Pharaoh should be relatively even. Pharaoh probably bought for a short lane Silhouette because that's what's expected down there. And so Miraxus with that hatchet should be able to outlast his opponent in that lane. So that's going to be a relatively even lane. Here in middle, Bubbles should be able to do well against, get the experience against just a 1v2. And if they do pull the Aluna, which they have now, he will be able to beat this Magnus in this lane. He should be able to beat the lane. Silhouette up here with the support of Glacius will be able to kill a Draconis in a 2v1 lane. In a 2v2 lane, they should be able to split pretty effectively. But if they're winning their other two lanes, or at least splitting one lane in the bottom and winning the middle lane, then they have the advantage. So I do very much so like the lane setup here from QLM. Or excuse me, from, yeah, QLM. Quadlane Mid. Put some serious thought into their lanes here as they were doing the dishes. I'm sure Gimli was over there scrubbing away. It says, man, it would make a lot of sense to send Bubbles mid. A lot of sense. A Lava Surge does come in there. Puts down a little bit of harassment. Glacius and Silhouette just trying to get their CS here top. Now, here's the other thing. Tempest will be able to make their way up. And if Silhouette and Glacius ever push past this point right here, Tempest is just going to be able to come in this direction, and just set up some nice ganks here for the Hellborn team. Able to hit the level 2 Glacial Blasts on either of these two heroes, preferably the Silhouette, before she gets the tree grapple out. And could be in a lot of trouble as mid lane Bubbles is starting to man up onto Magnus just a little bit. Magnus is actually leveling up his Volcanic Touch. Reason that he would be leveling that up if he is getting last hits while Bubbles is kind of standing on top of those creeps, then of course he will be able to get that extra damage being put out, as you do see Magnus sitting at 11% of the damage, but you see 27% of damage being done by Bubbles, so he's done a very good job in that respect. Both teams just trying to pull the creep wave off a little bit, trying to make sure that they're able to get as much alone time with the creep wave as possible. It's like when you're 16 years old, you just want to get that alone time with that girl at the party. Wow, that was awkward. You know what else is going to be awkward? Glacius is going to be taking a Glacial Blast right here. Nice tree grapple going to be able to stop Draconis for now. Glacius has to turn around, and he will not actually turn around. He's going to actually try to get a kill onto the elemental minions right there, and was able to get a couple of those picked up. So even with 3 up there, Glacius just mans up. QLM says, man, forget that. We're not going to let you guys bully us around too much, as Aluna might be caught out of position just a little bit right here. In fact, Glacius will fall back instead. Level 3 Aluna, so she has that level 2 power throw now. That's a very important skill to have, of course. Puts out quite a bit of damage. Middle lane, Bubbles has done a lot of damage in this game. Magnus has also done a lot of damage. And if we take a look at CS, 17-0 here for Bubbles, whereas Magnus is at 22-2. Magnus is doing very well in this lane, as a power throw does connect, hits Glacius there. But Magnus certainly doing well. Of course, having that Hatchet Buckler combination does enable him to do a lot better than if he did not have those items. Maybe went for something a little bit safer, just like Hatchet, Minor Totems, and a couple extra regen items, or cutting for a bottle. But live well, doing very well. Bubbles actually had to walk back to base to grab his bottle, grab some boots, and Magnus used that time to actually pick up an illusion rune spawned down there in the bottom lane. Speaking of comparing farm here, Pharaoh in the suicide lane long 16-3 as opposed to the 26-4 of Meraxis. So Meraxis doing a very good job down there. Currently 295 gold per minute. Top on his team, and only about 15 behind Magnus for top in the game. Draconis and Aluna still just trying to keep Silhouette off of the farm over here, as they're coming in mid. Lava Surge goes out onto Magnus. Mag actually takes a substantial amount of damage there from the tower and from the return damage of Bubbles. They're going to try to set up a kill right here. Will they be able to put out a lot of damage? That's for sure. The tree grapple goes in. Nice Emerald Lightning, though. Going to be able to force them back for the time being. Dragon Flame comes out. Power Throw is there. Glacius is very low on HP. An auto attack comes in and cancels that potion. Deathload is going to be able to try to Spirit until we're away, but no. Mudkip does fall. Gimli from the Seraphic Nexus team is able to pick up the first blood. So nice job to them. Magnus tries to follow up with some good fortune of his own. is not able to secure the rune, though. And Bubbles will chug that bottle, fill it back up with an invisibility rune. Level 6 Bubbles might make his way down to that bottom lane and try to set up a kill onto Pharaoh. If it were not for the double ballista push that's going on. Ballista's trying to put out as much damage as possible, as Pharaoh does use his mummy wall to try to burn a little bit of the mana, do a little bit of damage there. Bubbles looking for somebody to gank. He finds Tempest. Will he be able to actually set up a kill onto Tempest? Doesn't look like he'll be able to do that on his own. Gonna walk right by him with about 35 seconds left on that invis rune. He's gonna find Draconis and a Luna. Will he be able to set up the Shell Surf? Hits him right there. The Song of the Sea, the Kelp Field comes out, and he will be able to clean up a double tap, trading the Glacius for a double tap. Well played there by Angie Verona. Able to put his team on the board as Pharaoh takes a kill in the bottom lane. Miraxis drops. Pharaoh's able to pick up some Ghost Marchers with that gold. Skills showing off there. Puts his team back up in front. 3-2 now as they take an early experience advantage. Draconis trying to put out some pressure here. Uses that Dragon Flame to just push Silhouette back up, but she says bleh, and just shoots a kunai knife, a Death Lotus back at her face. Doesn't actually hit her, but grabs a creep, which is nice. Never feel bad about killing a creep. Except for Snotters. I feel bad every time I kill them, especially when I triple stack them on Legionnaire. I feel bad because they evaporate. And all they want is for Malakin to do their sewing. That's it. Is that so much to ask? Probably. Malakin's too busy riding around his Ferraris. Magma's in the top lane, gonna use the Lava Surge going out onto Bubbles. A few auto attacks go out, and Angie Verona does have to back up. With that bottle, though, should be able to chug back up to the majority of his life and mana. Silhouette using Death Lotus to try to get a couple more kills. As there's more engagements going on up here, Bubbles and Magnus continue to dance a deadly dance, a waltz, a tango, a flamenco, whatever you want to call it, maybe even a Macarena. But they're doing a dance, and that's for sure. And I tell you what, Magnus is in the lead. As he is sitting up at, just kidding, Bubbles with that double tap is in the lead. Magnus has done good without getting any kills yet, though. Bit of lane rotation as Glacius and Silhouette are now occupying the middle lane. Luna and Draconis are there as well. They've been there for a little while, but I guess this is going to be a permanent thing as Miraxis is going to try to get a kill onto Pharaoh here with the Matrax not being activated just yet. I don't know why he's not activating it. Because he wants to be able to get the kill just like that, and so he does. Miraxis avenges himself, and Skills takes a fall. Oh, middle lane. Draconis actually takes a fall as, well, Magnus is going to try to get in there. Luna is going to be able to hit the power throw and does get the kill onto Silhouette. There are now 4 players hanging out there in the middle for the Hellborn team. Well, Draconis is dead, so I guess he's not hanging out there anymore. But good rotation coming out from both teams trying to set that up. Angie Verona gets the serial killer streak after taking out Seishi. 10 minutes into this game, very, very even. No experience or gold lead to talk about. His kill score is now at 4-4 as well. Rune will spawn top and will be picked up by... Wait, what? Oh, it's a haste, and Tempest didn't bottle it. Interesting. If they say dishes one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to flip my desk. I will flip it. Don't you tempt me. Magnus just kind of chilling on his Ghost Marchers for now. Could be making his way toward that portal key eventually. But not just yet. Warbeast has finished up his Abyssal Skull and picked up some red boots, so... Going to be able to, oh, guys. I can't do it. I can't flip my desk. I feel bad. I feel like an oathbreaker. I feel like I just welched on a bet. But I can't flip my desk. It's way too heavy. I'm not strong enough. I'll try right now. Yeah, it's heavy. Oak. Oh, yeah, it's way too heavy. I can't do it. Game's going to get started once again. So hopefully... hopefully the pauses will end there. Bubbles, with his great farm so far, has picked up a Scarab, actually. So he might be looking for a relatively early Arcana, or maybe just hoping to get that mana regen with the Steam Boots that he already has as well. He has a nice core. Pretender's Crown in a bottle to round it out. Silhouette trying to work on finishing her Steam Boots to accompany a couple other things. Wrath of the Pharaoh's going to go out as Meraxes is in trouble. He's going to try to turn it around as a red power throw is going to come out onto Meraxes. Warbeast is there, and will the detonation come in? Meraxes is going to try to turn it around. Detonate, and there goes Pharaoh. He's going to take a fall. Magnus perhaps is in a little trouble. He certainly is, as Tempest is going to join him. QLM picks up a hat trick right there as they turn that one around. Seraphic Nexus is in a little bit of trouble as Meraxes does fall to Gimli. Gimli actually walks down there. Not even really a snipe as much as a long range, like 100-yard shot coming out of that power throw. But Gimli, you know, in the Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi, he was like, you know, we're going to go ahead and wax on, wax off. You know what else has that motion? Dishes. Gimli's been practicing the entire time for that snipe, and he just had to raise that arm and just Karate Kid crane kick Meraxes in the balls. Meraxes takes a fall right there. Nice long-range Lava Surge onto Warbeast. Emerald Lightning going to be hitting. There's the auto attacks to finish off Warbeast. Bubbles might be in a little bit of trouble here as well, as Lava Surge is back up in 1 second. Going to instead go for the Glacius. Glacius takes a fall there. The interruption on that, and Power Throw comes out. Serial Killer Streak now for Gimli, as Seraphic Nexus says, yeah, you guys got the hat trick, now we got the hat trick. Serial Killer on Gimli, and he's looking great. Seraphic Nexus now at 1,200 gold, 1,500 experience at 12 minutes into the game. Pretty small lead, but a lead's a lead, it's a lead. That is for sure. 4 players down here now, and they are going to be able to start putting some pressure onto the tower. Draconis doing his thing in the jungle, cleaning up some double stacks, some single stacks, whatever kind of stacks he wants. Stacks on stacks on stacks. They stack up and kill that tower as well. Extending that lead to near 3,000 gold. Meraxes is looking kind of tanky. Level 10, 1,200 HP, and saving up for the portal key now. Wants to be able to get something by way of initiation. Speaking of initiation, though, the Wrath of the Pharaoh is off cooldown, and Meraxes is standing right next to a Ward of Sight. Maybe they're going to be going in. No, they find Glacius instead, using the Wrath of the Pharaoh to bring him down. QLM, the namesake of his team, will take a fall right there. Silhouette continues to struggle in terms of farm, down at 203 gold per minute. The Warbeast, the Bumbles, and the Meraxes all out farming him. You really do need to get that gold per minute onto the Silhouette relatively soon. What the heck? Look at this gold graph right here for the Hellborn team. Everyone between 297 and 250 gold per minute. Aluna is actually out farming the Suicide Pharaoh just by virtue of being 5-1 and 2. That's a lot of kills for your support Aluna, and as a result, he's getting relatively buff. Does have some Striders coming out as well as the Mana Battery, and does have about 1,700 gold saved up as well. Able to get a nice stack onto the Ancients, and they'll bring Draconis over there at some point to try to get those cleaned up. Speaking of Draconis, I do believe he just picked up a Blessed Orb. We'll see. He might have even had the... Did he pick up a Blessed Orb? I don't know. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. But he's going to go and try to clean up this creep wave, bring them down, and we'll try to bring down the tower. Not going to be able to get the last hit as the wagon does bring that one home. Glacial Blast being applied onto Warbeast, trying to make sure that he does not catch up. And Bubbles is there, but he's perhaps a little bit too far extended. Bubbles is hasted, though, so not in too much trouble, as Glacius is actually going to be tangoing with some of these elementals over here. Draconis did push down that top tower, started to make work here on the secondary, but has to back off as the TPs do come in. Magnus looked like he was invis, standing on top of the white background with the Ghost Marchers activated. I cannot wait until the snow is gone. It's throwing me off. Or maybe I just have to get used to it. One of those two. Nice Pharaoh Rocket. Gonna be able to spot out a War Beast right there. Wrath of the Pharaoh gonna come in. The old Mummy's is there as well. Red Power Throw connects it. Gimli gets the assist. Skills brings home the last hit. And War Beast takes a fall. Deathbringer knocked down to 250 gold per minute. And although this game was even just about 4 or 5 minutes ago, it's anything but right now. Elemental Void gonna come out. Power Throw is gonna connect it. Skills brings home a double tap. Now 11-7 in favor of Seraphic Nexus. They're up 6,800 gold, 6,000 experience. They're going to make that an even 7,800, 8,000, something along those lines when they bring down this tower here in the middle lane. Glacius is there to try to get the defense on. Portal Key picked up onto Meraxis. He's not going to be in position just yet. And down goes the defensive tower. 8,400 gold lead here for the Hellborn team. And with that, Magnus picks up his Portal Key. Tit for tat. One for each. Although, well, Tempest is going to be able to make that tit for tat. As he picks up a Portal Key of his own relatively soon. Only about 350 gold away. Take a look here at gold per minute once again. Silhouette finds herself very, very far back down, as she is down at 215 gold per minute as opposed to the 325 of Draconis. Draconis, of course, able to finish up that Nullstone here. I guess he did not pick up a Blessed Orb already. I thought he did, but he appears to be about 1,300 off now. Quake's going to come in on to Gimli. They want that serial killer streak. Push away with that Snap, though. She's going to activate the Deja Vu. Will port back, not quite able to get away. Nice job attacking the ground or something there from Warbeast, but able to get the kill onto Aluna. Even with that tablet of command, not quite able to. Tempest is in position, wants to be able to set something up. The Wrath of the Pharaoh is going to come in. The Glacial Blaster there as well. Lava Surge onto Bubbles. Not going to connect with Silhouette. Not even needed. Silhouette's going to take a fall right here. The Kelp Field does go out broken immediately on Tempest, and Pharaoh will just kind of chill inside of it. No big deal. But knocking down Silhouette into the 200 gold per minute range. Mudkip not having a good day as Seraphic Nexus does start to just compound their lead. Draconis, now top farmer in the game, just clearing out creeps over 100 CS here at 17 minutes into the game. Many of those have been in the jungle, of course. Draconis getting work done as he's finishing up his Nullstone very, very soon here. Tempest picks up his Portal Key, and with the Elemental Void available to him in 44 seconds, I would expect to see some aggressive pushing and maybe looking for a team fight come out here from our Hellborn friends. Warbeast has not finished up any kind of upgraded boots, whether it be steam or plated greaves or otherwise, as Aluna's going to go in there with a red power throw. Gotta try to scout out something or another, but not quite able to make anything happen, and will have to retreat. Pharaoh finishes up a Helm of the Black Legion in addition to his Mystic Vestments. Might be saving for something like a Barbed Armor soon. I would think that would be a very nice item to have. Draconis finishes up his Nullstone here at 18 minutes into the game. Not the fastest Nullstone I've ever seen by any means, but not bad either. Bottom lane, there's initiation going on there. Pharaoh's going to try to bring down Meraxis. Wrath of the Pharaoh being used, but the Matrix is there. Pharaoh going to try to bring him down. Elemental Void going to be going out. Brings up into the War Beast, but there's no follow-up. Dragon Flame is there. This time the Metamorphosis does deactivate, and down goes War Beast, also being able to pick up the kill onto Glacius. The Glacial Downpour was trying to make something happen, not quite able to. I could not see what was going on in the middle of that team fight. There was so much crap going on. Meraxis does escape after utilizing that Matrix ability to save himself from the Wrath of the Pharaoh. With that kill in the middle lane, Bubbles is actually able to secure a Portal Key for himself. So Portal Key, Portal Key, Portal Key, it's the name of the game. 2 on each team right now. Not looking bad. I'm so jealous of this Aluna. Whenever you're able to get those nice early kills, 263 gold per minute on Aluna, able to get a 15-minute tablet of command, So nice to have against somebody like a Miraxis, somebody like a Bubbles. Even the War Beast, just push yourself away, try to buy the distance that you might need. Very, very nice. Silhouette, instead of choosing to go for a Nullstone, is in fact going to be going for a Whispering Helm this time. So with that Whispering Helm, we'll be able to do some Ancient stacking, and oftentimes immediately after the Whispering Helm, you do see a Shrunken Head, enable you to do a little bit more damage, and of course have immunity from those magic-based stuns, as well as the magic-based damage. Increase your maximum health pool just a bit, but your farming potential with this build is it's limited compared to going the traditional Nullstone build, that's for sure. And with so many people that do need farm, the Silhouette, the Warbeast, and the Miraxis, even the Bubbles, you need to get farm on all those heroes. I don't know where the potential farm is going to be coming here from the Silhouette. I feel like they might have put too many heroes that need farm in one team. You see on the other team, I mean, you need to get some basic items on your Tempest and your Magnus. Your Pharaoh can just kind of sacrifice himself with levels. But actually, Wrath of the Pharaoh is going to go in here in the middle lane as Miraxis activates the Matrax. Lava Surge going to come in and hit two people. A couple auto attacks in the back. Might be able to bring down Glacius. Glacius will, in fact, fall. Miraxis is able to get out of there for the time being. Activates the portal key and will be able to back off. Magma's going to try to go in. Lava Surge, Lava Surge. No! The Lava Surge goes the wrong direction. Magnus not quite able to make that one connect, and Miraxis will be able to get out of there. Fire Sage lives to live, lives to learn, lives to love another day, lives to do something. He lives. That's the gist of it, guys. He's gonna live. Top tower does go down in favor of the Hellborn team, expanding their advantage to 1,200 golden experience, as Bubbles is going to be in some trouble right here. The Shell Surf Song of the Sea not going to be able enough to save him. Mirax is actually going to take a fall right there as well. Glacius might be soon to follow as auto attacks go up the hill. No misses for him. And it looks like 3 come out right there for the Seraphic Nexus team. With 3 players down, Legion team could have find themselves hard-pressed to try to defend their base towers. Warby says, screw that, I'm taking down this secondary tower in the bottom lane. And he does get that, going to be able to finish up his Shrunken Head here and purchase it. And there we go. Shrunken Head is available, as well as Metamorphosis for an upcoming team fight. They want to wait until Bubbles is back. They want to wait until Miraxis is back. Glacius is already up, but there we go. Seraphic Nexus played it smart. They knew that there was going to be players coming back up, and they couldn't necessarily take the Hellborn team in a heads-up fight with some of their cooldowns unavailable, and with some of their players on low HP and mana. Do back up, no problem. Orbeez with that Shrunken Head will be able to just kind of charge into these team fights. The problem is he's not doing a whole lot of damage. Even with the Metamorphosis crit available to him, he's only hitting for 150. Crit's going to be critting for maybe 300 or something, but not hitting too hard at this point. Cronus, on the other hand, not hitting too hard either at 115 damage. Does, in fact, pick up a Mighty Blade, so going to be working toward a Shrunken Head at some point. And Aluna picks up a Steam Staff. Now, good damage, good attack speed coming out on the Steam Staff. Not an item that you typically see coming out on your hard support player, but when your hard support player gets 4 creep kills with 1 power throw right there and is sitting at 275 gold per minute, that could be a little bit of a different story. Oh, Invisible Tempest right here. Shell Surf has already been used. Glacial Blast comes out. There's the interruption. Oh, big Tempest Elemental Void. 2 players going down already. Miraxis might be in a little bit of trouble. Lava Surge going to be coming in and able to hit 2 players. The Warbeast actually in there. Shrunken Head Metamorphosis activated. He's going to try to bring down Aluna. A couple more auto attacks and he might be able to. Aluna trying to get juked into the fog. She will take a fall. Silhouette TP's out as an eruption comes in. Magnus going to be able to bring down Silhouette. He might be able to try to get in on Miraxis as well. Miraxis able to TP on out with the portal key. And 3 players up still from the Hellborn team. 3 of the big players. And they're going to be able to bring down this defensive tower. No problem. Miraxis, the only one up. 18,000 gold, 15,000 experience. A lead here for the Hellborn team. And Seraphic Nexus looking good. Be able to close this game out. They are very, very strong right now as a Shrunken Head is now purchased on Draconis. Magnus looking strong here at level 14. Going to be getting to that level 16. Level 3 Eruption very, very soon. But, of course, this game is not over. On the other side, you have your Silhouette who's working on her own Shrunken Head. You have your Warbeast who's already finished up his Helmflower in progress on the Miraxis and might be as well on the Bubbles. So we'll see if there's some fight left in Quadlane Mid. They were not willing to give up after game number 1. I would not expect them to be willing to give up right here. They're going to try to finish this one out, finish it strong. Speaking of finishing things, Tempest is about 700 gold from finishing up his Shrunken Head, an item that's going to be very, very nice to have. You saw in that last team fight, he was able to get the Invis Rune and a nice Elemental Void, catching 2 players who died immediately, the Bubbles and the Glacius, and even caught the Miraxis as well, before Miraxis actually got bounced off of the Wall of Mummies and pushed back outside of the Tempest Elemental Void. But that kind of worked as well, doing a little bit of damage, doing the slow purge mana burn kind of thing. Oh, Tempest might be in a little bit of trouble here as he will actually portal key away back to his tower. Had some kind of spider sense going on there. Didn't really have vision of the enemy team, but just got a little bit scared. Backs up and will be able to go on living, doing Tempest things for the rest of his days until he dies next time. Draconis doing a little bit of offensive jungling here, making sure to control his opponent's resources as they do expand their lead up to 18,000 gold, 20,000 experience. With 2,500 gold banked up on Draconis, could be looking for something like that Slayer relatively soon. Could be looking for something like that Geometer's Bane as well. Of course, a very nice item. Damn, Gimli! 4 kills again with a power throw? You rich! You are rich! As he picks up 5 Word of Revelations. So this is what you need to do. When you pick up 5 Word of Revelations, though, spring for the extra 200 gold and just pick up a Bound Eye. Like, really, just pick up a Bound Eye. As Gimli's going to go in here, try to do lots of counter warding. They're trying to set up for resource management mode. You knock down all of your opponent's outer towers, which this will be the last outer tower, and then you just keep them contained into their base right here. You say, anywhere past this line, you are going to be unsafe. And as long as they're behind that line, you're free to farm their ancients, your own ancients, their jungle, the lanes, whereas they're just farming the lanes. They're not able to get into the jungle. They're not able to get to the ancients. And so you're going to be able to consistently expand on your lead. And then when you start taking something like a Token of Life or start getting some of those very big items, which they're going for right now with the Token of Life, then you can actually press into the base safely and trade Token of Life for a tower, something like that. Kind of be safe and do it again, as we see so often in the Diamond Division. So that is the goal here for SNX. We'll see if they're going to be able to bring down Concord with the Legion team unawares. So far, Legion team might have an inclination, but simply unwilling to commit. And Concord will go down here. Shrunken Head finished up on the Tempest as well, and with that level 2 Elemental Void, we'll be able to lock down some people for 5 seconds. Pause goes out from Hellborn. And Gimli's got to do dishes again. Okay. Guys, I'm going to be right back. I need to go punch something. I'm back in just a minute, guys. Alright, I didn't go punch anything. In fact, I let my dog outside because poor girl, I expected to be able to take her for a walk this evening, but this day of casting has gone a lot longer than I expected to. That is for certain. But, well, poor girl. Had to let her outside. Take her for a walk after we're done here. Cook up some dinner. Ooh, it's going to be good. Going to be good. And then, of course, tomorrow, Christmas Eve, going to be doing a little bit of scrim casting before I got to go out and run a couple of errands before the evening. I wish all of you out there watching and everybody else that isn't watching or might be watching VODs later on, I wish you guys all Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you might celebrate, the solstice, Merry New Year, Happy New Year, just happy life. I wish you guys all the best, of course. Hope that you get to spend some time with your friends and family, loved ones. Let's get back into this game. Miraxis is getting relatively close to finishing up his Hellflower, about 1,400 gold off now. Silhouette still farming pretty low, down at 242 gold per minute. She's going to be working on that Shrunken Head, but still about 1,600 gold off. And I don't know if she's going to have the time to finish that up before the Hellborn starts pressing into the base. Warp Clef being picked up here on Pharaoh as he picks up Demonic Breastplate Recipe. We'll see if he has the chainmail already, if that courier starts flying out. As the Legion team says, we're going to try to get the jump on you. Quake goes out, but Elemental Void is going to be there. Elemental Void actually interrupted immediately, and, well, 3 players, Elemental Void not even needed. Not even needed. The Shrunken Head was not activated, and 1 tick of that Hellfire did interrupt the Elemental Void, so a little bit of a misplay there from Wally. But does not even matter as 3 players go down. And this tower will be soon to follow. Warbeast will be trying to come in and maybe go for a deny. No, he's going to go for the counter-aggression onto the other side of the map. Saving up for buyback. I like that. You need to bank some gold here. Because if you get caught out of position, your team's going to need you to buy back. He's going to go for the counter push on this defensive tower. Unfortunately, with no Ballista, he's not going to be able to do a ton of damage. Wrath of Pharaoh comes in, catching the Solstice. Glacial Blaster there. Lava Surge. Solstice is going to take a fall. And Glacius in the back wave. He's going to go down. I just heard a Shrunken Head being popped. That was by Tempest. But this is looking grim here for the Legion team. Hellborn up 25,000, 31,000 in terms of golden experience. Tempest is going to try to TP on out of there. Lava Surge with the eruption going to be coming in. Does not hit Bubbles. Bubbles will take a fall there. Going down to live well on the Magmas after all. And Chainsaw Massacre being activated. Pharaoh's going to go down, but so will Miraxis as well as Bubbles. Actually, Miraxis is up there still, just doing his thing. Token of Life being activated there as Draconis does melt into the snow, but resurrects very soon after. Miraxis goes back to heal up, but votes to concede being put up. GG well played is coming out, guys, and that may very well do it. Miraxis going in there for one last fight. Wants to bring down Gimli, but not quite able to. Where is it? He gets the last hit, then the concede. There's the moral victory for Miraxis. But guys, that is it. Your victors, Seraphic Nexus. Congratulations to them. Very well played. I loved casting this series, and huge shout out to them. Everyone except for Gimli, who I hate for having to do all those dishes. Gimli, if I ever meet you in a dark alley, I will smash you over the head with a towel rack. But guys, that's it. coLcast for the day is done. Not done forever by any means. We'll, of course, be back tomorrow. Hopefully going to be bringing you some Scrimcast action. If there are any Scrims to cast, I will be casting them for a few hours tomorrow morning. That's going to start at about 11 a.m. 11 a.m. EST, and hopefully go for about 2 or 3 hours. Try to find you guys some Scrims, so make sure to check that out. Huge shout out to all the teams that did play today. We had Vitriolic Gaming, Dober on Damp. We had Quadlane Mid. We had Isopalette, Seraphic Nexus, and the people that played Vitriolic Gaming, which I can't remember right now, but some very nice series. Of course, huge shout outs to Lalonde as well, as I do lose connection to the game. But yeah, huge shout outs to Lalonde for being here to cast with me. And of course, a huge shout out to S2 Games for putting on HoN Tour and allowing me to be here. Big shout out to Milk Fat in specific, and of course to Complexity Gaming for allowing coLcast to happen. Check Complexity Gaming out at complexitygaming.com, where HoN Tour is on the front page. I'm going to be doing a HoN weekly breakdown in the next couple of days, where you can check out all the Complexity HoN matches that have gone on in the last couple of weeks, recaps, synopsis, VODs, all easily available there, so make sure to check that out. Also, make sure to follow twitter.com/complexitylive and facebook.com/complexitygaming, where you can get all your up-to-date information about Complexity, the organization, all of our teams. And of course, make sure to let them know that you love coLcast with Beef, so that I can be here and cast more Heroes of New Earth for you guys. While you're over there at Twitter, make sure to follow me at BeefPotPie1. And if you missed any of the action today, make sure to check it out over at youtube.com/BeefPotPie1. You can check out easy links for all of that in the info section below here at twitch.tv/ComplexityHoN. And if you have not followed already, do make sure to follow for your home of coLcast, Heroes of New Earth, HoN. It's all right here, guys. One more big shout out to the Complexity sponsors: Sound Blaster, Creative Origin, PNY, QPad, G8 Brand, and Twitch. Without them, none of this would be possible. Guys, we are done for the day. One more big shout out to the most important people of all, you, the viewers. Without you, I would not be here. I would not have a job. I would not be able to do what I love and cast some games for you guys. So thank you for being here. I'm out. If you want, please stick around and watch a few commercials. That's how I get paid. So please make sure to do that. And guys, I'll catch you tomorrow. If not then, happy holidays. We'll catch you sometime in the upcoming days. We're out. Thanks for watching.